Yeah, definitely.
Hello, everybody. This is Bowie Abiola at Raise Your Game Esports, and today we have a very special guest today, Jenna. Say what? How are you today, Jenna?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing very well. Jenna is an avid gamer, an avid PC gamer, and she's been cosplaying for 4 years. So she has a lot to share with us about her cosplaying adventures. So, Jenna, what? How did you start out in cosplaying, and how did you start out from your humble beginnings to where you are at right now?
Well, about 6 years ago, I decided to go to NC Comic Con that's in Durham, North Carolina. That's the closest con by me, and I had no idea that there was one that even existed outside of the big Comic Con out in San Francisco. And so I decided to go. I wore my Halloween costume, which was from it was a Captain America costume from Trashy Lingerie, which is ridiculous, but wore it. I absolutely felt so odd and out of place there. Everybody had these amazing costumes. Everybody was talking to me about how they made their stuff, and I was like, okay, I am not feeling this. This makes me nervous. And I ended up kind of hanging up the costume and not coming back out for another 2 years. Flash forward to 4 years ago, I ended up learning how to sew, decided that I was going to make my first costume, go back to NC Comic Con and try it again. And lo and behold, I felt a lot more comfortable. I felt happier with my whole con experience. So I think that making the costume kind of made me feel a little bit more secure with myself. But yeah, I ended up making costumes ever since then.
Oh, I see. I see. And what was your first cosplay that you did?
The first cosplay that I made was Miss Marvel. I started sewing lycra and stretch fabrics from the get go. Apparently, that is the hardest fabric to work with. For whatever reason, I picked that. And now spandex is like my go to. If I can't make it out of spandex, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I do buy some of my costumes. My second one that I ever had was Dark Phoenix. And I love that costume as well. And so those were my first two costumes that I ever wore.
Ooh, Dark Phoenix. Can you tell us about Dark Phoenix? About that time you cosplayed with Dark Phoenix?
Yes, I would love to. So I love makeup, which I mean, there's a lot of girls that do. But Dark Phoenix, I really wanted her to have some drag makeup. So I ended up doing my eyes just absolutely drag queen, ridiculous, bright, bold eyes. And I had so much fun just playing with the makeup that the second that I put on those heels and put on that costume, I felt like such a badass. And I was like, yeah, this is why, drag exists. This is, I felt fierce. I felt really confident in the costume. It was I think that that's probably one of my favorites only because of how that first experience was. Not saying that Miss Marvel wasn't the same, but having those like the big eyeshadow, like being fierce, it really changed my whole perception of everything in general. Like being like, okay, if I put on, eyeshadow that makes me feel really good and confident about myself, I can take on the world. Like it was such a great experience.
So would you say that was a huge confidence booster in a con with all those people?
Yeah, absolutely. I always preach the gospel of cosplay, if you will, because of the fact that it makes you feel so good. And you put on a costume, you kind of embody that character a little. I think it's really hard for someone to put on a costume and just walk around and still feel the same. Like you start putting on those layers and you know that character. Like most of the time we cosplay characters that we really truly love and they're close to our hearts. You have a sense of that character inside of you and it really comes out to the foreground. And I think that cosplay really helps out with like anxiety and depression and feeling like you feeling really down about yourself. I think that wearing the costume, putting on the layers, it makes you just channel that inside of you. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm just cosplaying because costume is costume play." So a lot of people think like, "Oh, okay, I'm just doing it for this con." But in reality, if you can do it for those, those few hours whenever you're in that costume, you can do it for the rest of the week. You can do it for the rest of the month. And eventually you can bring that part of yourself out to the foreground and be like, I can take on the world. I am like Dark Phoenix, or I am like, like Harley Quinn, or like Scarecrow. I go to Scarecrow. That's my baby. So, but yeah, being able to pull that out is such an amazing confidence boost.
I see. And along with that, you also made a lot of friends in the cosplaying arena, right?
Correct.
So it's like you have a support group to support you in cosplaying. Like if you have the anxiety or if you're nervous, can you tell us more about the support group that you have? Have you made any friends at these places? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Whenever I first came to North Carolina, that was 9 years ago, I made some friends here and there throughout, different aspects of my life coming out here. But it wasn't until I got into the cosplay community where I really found my family. Most of my friends that are my closest friends are all into cosplay. I have a couple of friends that aren't into cosplay. But for the most part, everybody that I constantly am around are all cosplayers. They're all just the most positive people that you'll ever meet. They're so nice and they're humble, and it's such a great feeling to be around people that are positive and loving and really support you in the weird stuff that you do.
Yeah, and it's exciting. Like you get to see all these new faces. By the way, on Monday I podcasted with Charlie Rocket, and she told me about you and that you're like just as excited as she is about cosplay.
Yes.
And her enthusiasm rubbed off of me. I'm like, oh my god, this is the most exciting thing in the world. So how did you meet Charlie Rocket?
Oh my God. If she didn't tell you the story, I will tell you the story, because this really proves the way that I am. I literally went up to her at her booth, and I had been following her on social media already. And I loved everything that she did. She was so passionate and so amazing. And I just went up to her and was like, "Hi, I'm Jenna, and I follow you on social media, and you're amazing." And I just gave her the biggest hug. And then we kind of joke around, but the kazoo kid that yeah, that's me. No, the kazoo kid, it's this little white kid that has this bowl cut, and he's like, "We're gonna be best friends." And then he starts playing the kazoo. I swear to God, that is me 100%. And Charlie's like, "That's you in a nutshell." When you decide that you want to be friends with someone, you've already chosen that person as your friend. And she's like, "The second that you chose me to be your friend, we instantly clicked." And I'm like, I don't know why I do that with certain people, but some people I just have that instant connection with. And with her, instant connection. We've been friends ever since. We always try to do cosplays together. And if we have anything that's the same, we'll try and wear it the same day. So we're both looking at doing domino at the same time, and doing we just really enjoy it, and doing like Harley and Ivy together, and it's yeah, it's
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
that's our ship right there.
All right, so that's your favorite collaboration with Charlie Rocket then.
Really, anything that we do together is amazing, and she has been a huge, amazing friend to me, and it's been a wicked ride, and I absolutely love her and support her 100%. Like it's been amazing.
Yeah, and it's these types of friendships that last forever.
I agree.
This excites me. This is so exciting.
It's such an amazing thing. If you haven't already cosplayed, and this goes for not only you, but also the listeners, if you guys haven't cosplayed, definitely cosplay at least once. And I mean, Halloween is one thing, it's not the same. Going into the atmosphere of a convention and being in that costume, and the second that someone looks at you and goes, "Oh my God, I love this character. This is my favorite character," all of a sudden you're glowing. It's amazing. It feels so good.
Guess who I'd cosplay as, by the way. You have to guess. I want you to guess who I'd cosplay as.
Captain America.
I could cosplay as Captain America, but that's not what I'm thinking about right now.
Would it be DC or would it be Marvel?
It could be. Yeah, actually, you know what? Actually, I have two characters from DC and Marvel that I can cosplay. I would cosplay as.
Well, the obvious, like, I don't know, like.
Okay, so I'd cosplay as Miles. You know Miles Morales?
Yes.
I'd cosplay as him for Marvel. He's an amazing Spider-Man. Like he's so unique. And then for DC, I'd probably cosplay as what was it? As Cyborg from Teen Titans.
I love Cyborg. He is wonderful.
He's like, he doesn't play games. He just goes all in, and I really like that.
Yeah, he's such a passionate character too.
I would also, you know, Kingdom Hearts 2?
I know a little bit of Kingdom Hearts, yes.
I'd also cosplay as the main villain, the villain from Kingdom Hearts, Xehanort.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do that all day.
Cosplaying villains is a lot of fun.
Oh yes, so what was your favorite villain to cosplay as?
Scarecrow, done. Hands down. Scarecrow's my baby. Scarecrow.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's awesome. From which is it, from Marvel or DC?
That's DC. I do the Arkham Asylum version, voiced by the great Dino Andrade, who I absolutely adore. I've met him a few times, and he is so friendly and nice, and I adore him.
Dino Andrade?
Yeah, Dino Andrade.
Okay, I need to find this. I need to like look this guy up because that sounds like a cool name. Just saying, that's awesome.
He voices so many things too. So he's just such a nice guy. But I still think his best work is Scarecrow. But that's just me being biased.
I see. So, have you had any challenges or any hurdles that you had to overcome in this cosplay journey?
Oh God, so many. There's so many that you have to overcome. Learning like new skills and stuff. I have a thing where I'm like, if I'm not perfect at it from the get-go, I don't want to do it. I get discouraged really easy. And I think that's probably been my biggest hurdle, which is kind of weird because it's not directly cosplay related, but it's really pulled me back from things, and failing is an option, and I sometimes forget that. And so whenever it comes to making a new costume or learning a new trait, if I fail at it, I have to remind myself it's okay to fail. It's okay to trip and fall, and then the next go around, I'm going to learn from those mistakes. And if I make more mistakes with that, then I'm going to learn. And it's all about growing. And I think that that's been, oddly enough, the hardest part of the cosplay world, and learning and growing and developing my skills.
I see. And how long did it take for you to be proficient at cosplaying?
I don't think I'm proficient at cosplaying. I think at this point, like, it's all about repetition with me. Like, at this point now, I can make a bodysuit in 3 hours, just because I've made so many. But if you look at the inside of my costumes, they're still trash. So I'm starting to force myself to make the insides of them look better. So I think I'll never get like completely proficient at it. It's always going to be a growth. It's always going to be a learning experience. Everything that I do, I'm starting to push myself more and push myself to do better every single time that I make a new costume.
I see. But nobody sees the inside of the costume though, right?
No, but still yet, I really want to get better at it for myself, not really for anybody else. So it's all about, it's all about forcing yourself to get better for you, not for someone else. So
I like that mentality. You gotta be better than how you were yesterday.
exactly.
All right. So you're also an avid gamer, I see. A PC gamer, I see, right?
I am.
What games do you engage in?
First and foremost, my love will always be with Elder Scrolls. I've always loved Elder Scrolls. I remember playing Elder Scrolls 3 on my computer, like way back, whenever that came out. And I adored it. It helped me during some of my darkest times to have that escape from reality. And I swear to this day that that's probably the thing that saved my life, because of depression and anxiety and stuff. But so once Elder Scrolls Online came out, I jumped on that bandwagon. I set myself up to try and get into the beta testing, and I ended up making it, which was huge for me because I was like, oh my God, this is my game. Like, Elder Scrolls is my game. So Elder Scrolls is first and foremost. I'm into Overwatch hardcore now.
Okay, tell me about your Overwatch journey. Oh my God. Like, if I wasn't a Super Smash Brothers fan, I'd be into Overwatch all day. Can you tell me about your Overwatch?
Man.
Like who do you play? What maps do you like tell me about your engagement with Overwatch. This is interesting.
Hello, I'm Jenna, and I am a Orisa main.
Orisa main. Okay.
I am an Orisa main. I'm getting again. It all goes back to the whole pushing yourself to be better. We have a group of friends that play together regularly, and we'll play together really well, but at the same time, they'll be like, Jen, you really have to place your shield better. You should place it here instead. Or if we're on certain maps, they're like, let's start out with your shield here, because we watched videos of some of the greats, like Seagull, and have him play, and they're like, and he sets up here, you should do it here. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because we do want to be better gamers, and we want to learn and listen from each other. And being in a big group of friends that do PC game and play Overwatch together, it's really cool to like have them critique you, but in like a very nice way, not in a like, oh man, you suck. It's like, no, they'll be like, you should really do it like this instead. Try that. See how that works.
Constructive criticism at its finest.
Bingo. Yep, bingo. But yeah, I've tried to play other characters. For the most part, I tank. Diva was my main for the longest time until Orisa stepped in. I was like, hello, Battle Cow.
You said Debo? Did you say Debo?
No, Diva.
Okay, I thought you said Debo. I'm like, oh my God, like, that's my name. Like, oh my God, that's cool. Okay, continue. Sorry.
No. Diva. Yeah. I play Reinhardt a little bit, who's also a tank. But I've been trying to get a little bit better where I can switch so I can be DPS or heals. So I'll do. I've been trying to work with Soldier 76 a little bit more. Moira is my go-to healer, but I started kind of dabbling with Mercy, even though I have no idea what I'm doing with Mercy. I am a terrible Mercy. So anytime that I'm playing, we always are like, okay, we need a second healer, definitely someone that can really give heals. I'm like, thanks, guys. But 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 we definitely support each other because there's times where one of us wants to try out a new character and everybody will be like, oh, okay, so we just need to know that we're going to be carrying you the rest of the game while you try and figure out what you're doing. I've been doing that a lot with Hammond, which is the new hero in Overwatch, who is a cute little hamster in a wrecking ball. And I've actually cosplayed Hammond for Dragon Con, which was, I think, the most fun I've ever had. Like in a big group of cosplayers, because we did swim watch. But I digress. With Overwatch, it's so much fun. It's so diverse. It's so amazing. So, and then being in a group of friends where they'll carry you if you want to try out a new character. It's fantastic. And then constructive criticism as well.
Oh yes, at its finest. Guess who my favorite character in Overwatch is?
Widowmaker.
I like Widowmaker, but I guess who else? Guess who else?
Sombra.
No.
Oh, Doomfist.
Not Gymfest.
Man, I don't know.
My man Genji and that armor.
Oh man,
Genji. Nobody messes with Genji. No one.
No, that is pretty accurate, especially me being Orisa, because I cannot shoot him for the life of me. Like, I'll be being attacked from behind by Genji, and my friends are like, Jen, you're getting attacked from behind. I'm like, I know, I can't do anything about it.
Oh, because of that armor, right?
No, it's because the speed. I'm like, I can't keep up. Yep.
I love Genji. I would probably cosplay as him too.
Oh man, there's a cosplayer that is good friends with me named Day Before the Con Cosplay, and he did a amazing Genji, let me tell you.
Wow. Oh my gosh. You got to send me the pictures later because that's interesting. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
This is so cool. I'm excited right now. I'm so excited. Oh, continue what you were saying.
Oh no, with Overwatch, yeah, it's such a great game, and I love the fact that they've made comics about it. They make short stories. Overwatch has been like one of those games that I think is a forerunner for PC games. They really, really try to make sure that they have all their bases covered. They constantly come up with new content, which I think is really awesome because normally for like a shooter game, eventually you kind of get bored with it. I was a huge Halo gamer way back in the day, whenever Xbox first came out, and eventually you get tired of it. And then, the next one comes out and you're like, oh, okay. And it kind of revives it. Well, Overwatch has been one of those games where they put out new content or new maps or basically something new every like 3 months. And they always do like holiday stuff. They're going to probably do their Halloween thing in a few weeks. But yeah, they always keep putting out this new content and it keeps everybody kind of keeping up with it and going back for more.
It keeps everything fresh.
Exactly.
And continue the list of games that you were mentioning that you
oh man, I started streaming more like horror games. I did a VR game, and and I cannot remember it, but it's like this cheesy zombie game on VR. And I'm not a good I love my horror movies. I love everything spooky, but for whatever reason, scary games can't do it. So I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to stream a scary game and see how that is. And I had the most viewers that I've ever had whenever I played this VR. It's so silly, but this zombie game, and people really enjoyed watching me freak out. So I'm like, okay, all right. So the next time I ended up playing the Park, and it's a psychological thriller game. And so I ended up going through it. Everybody loved it. So I ended up continuing on. So now, for the most part, whenever I stream, I try to stream horror games because people seem to enjoy watching me be terrified. And my reactions, I guess, because my facial responses to things can't be hidden. I'm not very good at being stoic. So whenever I'm scared or whenever I'm like confused, like you can definitely 100% see it on my face. So I did The Park. I did Among the Sleep, which is another psychological thriller game. And I'm like, man, these are going to give me nightmares forever.
I see. And what was the name of that zombie game?
I honestly have no idea. My husband has it on his VR, but it's like super cheesy, and I can't for the life of me think of what it is. But nothing is like, it's so cheesy. All the zombies look super like animated. There's nothing really scary about it realistically, but for whatever reason, it scared the crap out of me. And I'm like throwing bows, and like I started punching the wall on accident because VR. And I'm like, uh-oh. My husband's like, Jen, you gotta stop punching the wall, seriously. I'm like,
Does he play too?
He does, yes.
Okay. Cool.
He plays Overwatch. He got me started a little bit in Astroneer, which is, oh no, Astroneer, if you had a stressful day at work, it is so calming. All the music on it is so chill. You basically, it's almost like Minecraft, but it's more like adult. Like it's not kind of geared towards kids. It's more like geared towards the adults. And basically you land on the surface of a planet, and you mine and you build, and again, kind of like Minecraft, but a little bit different and very calming. The only time it's not calming is whenever you start running out of oxygen, which is terrifying, but it's such a good game, and it's beautifully done. I don't think it costs too much to get it, and I think it's in beta still, but it's a beautiful game. I think it is. It's like brand new. But yeah, they're still putting new things in the game and all that stuff. But it's $20 on Steam right now. So, but it's very beautiful. It's a very well done game. I highly recommend it for sure.
Awesome. I'm gonna check that out. If it's on Steam, yes.
Yep, it's on Steam. I just checked. It's $20 and so worth it. Like I said, stressful day of work, go into Astroneer, just play around for a little bit, and you're like, this music is so relaxing.
Oh my! Yeah, I'd probably put me to sleep. Honestly, like if something's that relaxing, I'd probably fall asleep.
And that's okay, because after you play like a stressful game like Overwatch, whenever you're playing against people and you're like, just play Astroneer for about 5 minutes and then conk out. You'll be all right. And to be honest, I have to play stuff like that after I play horror games, because I'm like too scared for everything.
I see. Oh yeah, yeah. Because that's stressful. Because those stress hormones, like
Yep.
when you play horror games, are like through the roof.
Yep. Um, yeah, for the most part, I'll do those games. I just I need to start going back into BioShock. Um, yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna probably play two because I have a Xbox 360. I haven't got the Xbox One or anything, but because now I'm PC. But I decided one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna face my fears for whatever reason. BioShock like really scares the crap out of me. I was like, I'm gonna play it again. So I load up my Xbox, pop BioShock 2 back in, and was like, I played it. I didn't see that there was a save game or anything, so I just played it from scratch, and I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I'm tapping out right here. And it was like, do you want to save this game? I'm like, screw it. So I'll save it. So I save it, and I'm like 20 seconds behind my last game, which lasted 10 minutes. And I was like, huh, all right, can't handle BioShock. So I think at some point I'm going to end up playing BioShock on PC and streaming it because apparently that's the only way I can get through scary games is if I play them on PC while I'm streaming. So same thing goes for Silent Hill. I can't get. Do, oh man, I can't get through Silent Hill to like at all. Like I'm like 2 seconds into it. I'm like, you know what? No, throw the controller across the room. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want it. I don't want it. So I decided that at some point I'm going to stream Silent Hill. But apparently there is a way to become Pyramid Head at the end of the game. And that's what I'm going to shoot for. Apparently, if you do the game like and you're a evil person, then you end up becoming Pyramid Head at the end. I'm going to have to fact check that because I've never done it and I've never heard of it, but someone told me that and I was like, huh, I could probably do that and just like be like, okay, if you get to the end, you'll get to be Pyramid Head, Jen. Everything will be all right. I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll just push through this. Yeah,
Oh
not
yeah,
for
the
me
ter-
because I'm gonna be terrified.
it's
I'm gonna
terrifying.
be terrified.
Wait, if you
I'm
like
gonna cry.
scary, you should play the latest Resident Evil in VR. That's scary.
That oh god, no, not VR. Oh no.
I'm telling you, Resident Evil VR, like legit, you'll be so scared, like you'd want to run away. Like, oh my god, it's
I'm going to have to get adult diapers if I want to play that game in VR.
probably will. You probably will need like a dozen.
Yeah, probably. I know Amazon has those buttons where you just push it and it just reorders it for you. I could probably do that because just be like start popping them up. Feel like I can't deal with this. This thing is terrifying. I'm gonna give myself a heart attack more than likely.
Just don't overstress too much. Bring that
Oh,
medical
no.
equipment to bring people back.
We'll get a defibrillator. Put
Yes,
it in
a
the house.
defibrillator. Yes.
I like this idea.
It's gonna be the best idea ever. Wait, but at least your viewers are gonna increase because they're gonna be like, you're gonna be so terrified from VR, from the Resident Evil VR. It's gonna be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's gonna send me to an early grave, but I mean, yeah, whatever.
All right, continue.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, those are my primary go-to games. Since I play so much Overwatch, and then on top of that, I play so much with Elder Scrolls. It's like, man, what do I have time for other than those two? And you know, the once a week stream. I always try to get into WoW. I really tried. I could never get into it, and it really depresses me because there's so many things in it that I really want to cosplay. Like there's so many characters. I'm like, ugh. But I just am like, nah. If I'm gonna cosplay something, I'll make something from Elder Scrolls. But whenever you make any Elder Scrolls cosplays, most people are like, they look way on past you. Like a few people here and there will be like, oh my god, you're so and so from the game or whatever. But it's very rare. But yeah, man, I wish I would have gotten into WoW, but just can't. I can't get into it.
Have you thought of doing Hearthstone?
I looked at Hearthstone, but it's not my speed. I don't know. Like I'm very strange with it. But I watched Charlie Rocket stream it and I'm like, girl, you get that, but I can't play that. Like it's so weird. I'm very particular about my games for whatever reason. Hearing that Spyro's coming back though.
Wait,
My
what?
God.
Oh my god!
So-
Send me that. Send me the link to that after. After.
Yeah,
Oh my god! Wait, what?
I'm freaking out. Like I'm like they better have that shit for PC because I will cry otherwise and I will go out and buy a PlayStation just to replay it because I Spyro was my jam back in the day. Like that was one of my favorites.
Definitely playing it on PSN, like PlayStation 4. Now that you mention it, I have a PS4
Yep.
and it's so exciting. Like, oh my god, this is
Yeah.
exciting! Exciting stuff.
Yeah. Right now, like that's like my hope is that they do have it out for PC because I'm like, man, I will pay whatever they want for it. Right, another game that I'm planning on playing. I'm waiting until it goes down in price just a teensy bit because right now it's like $60, but it's oh no, now I can't think of what it's called. It's the Happy Few, We the Happy Few.
Yeah, I've heard about that game. I've definitely heard about it. Where like
That's also-
everybody has this like happiness facade thing going on, and they go only smile.
Yep. It's a horror game as well. So I'm like, I think that that's going to be one of the next big ones that I stream. Just because I had been following that game ever since they announced it. And I'm like, oh my God, this looks terrifying, but I think I might be able to be okay with it. But now that whenever I stream, I just have some way to like gain a little bit of mental strength whenever I play and stream. So, but yeah, I'm super stoked about that game. That's one that's top on my list of games that I want to get. But again, it's like, wow, it's $60. I don't know if I'm ready to drop that, but I'm probably going to end up just sucking it up and just getting it because it looks so beautiful as well. So I mean the game and the company deserve that money because of the fact that it is such a beautiful game. Like everything, like aesthetically, is just stunning. The music sounds amazing. So it's like, I'll probably end up talking myself into it in the next few weeks and just being like, yep, I'm probably just going to get it.
You should get it. Like, you should.
Yeah, it's one of those games that like I love anything like vintage, and I do some pinup modeling from time to time. Like, so I love that kind of aesthetic and like that old feel, and that's what the game is. It's supposed to be like a utopian, like 1950s style game. So I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be awesome. Like that, it's just so beautiful. Like I'm so in awe of the creation of it, and like it's way beyond my skill level that I could ever do. Like I can't draw or do anything. So.
And have you cosplayed as people from these games?
Yeah, I have. I try to cosplay things from games that I avidly play. So I mean, I'll cosplay stuff from Overwatch. I haven't done anything like too over the top. So I've done like little cosplays with groups. So I did Pool Watch Hammond. So I was in a bikini. I made the ears. I was ridiculous. I did a Gym Watch Zarya. It was based off of some artwork that I found. And then I did a diva, but it's just the bodysuit. But next year for KatsuCon, I'm planning on making a Orisa. I'm not going to do the back end, but I am going to do her legendary skin, and which looks kind of like a tree and vegetation kind of look to it. It's beautiful. So I decided that I'm planning on doing that for KatsuCon next year. and I asked Charlie Rocket to be my Eefy.
Oh,
Yeah.
collaboration, I see.
Yep. Yep. I was like, we have to do this. And I was like, I sent her a text and I was like, I'm going to do Arissa's legendary skin. Will you be my Eefy? And Charlie sent me a message back going, I thought you'd never ask. Like, perfect.
This is funny. Oh my gosh, Charlie Rocket. She's a ball of enthusiasm.
I know, she's amazing. But yeah, for the most part, I'll do Overwatch just because they're so easy to play. Like whenever they first announced it, they were like, yeah, we're taking cosplayers into consideration when we make these characters. And I'm like, that is so cool. Like they're actually like mentally going, okay, should we make these, these really hard to cosplay? No, let's make it to where they are doable. And there's so many good cosplayers that make these characters and stuff. But I thought about doing, I did my own version of the Ordinator from Elder Scrolls. And again, being a very odd character from the game, a lot of people don't even know what it is. They just think it's a cool armor set and they just, take a picture and walk away. And I'm like, can I talk to you about Elder Scrolls? Let me preach the gospel of Elder Scrolls to you. And they're just like, goodbye. I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. But yeah, doing like costumes from Elder Scrolls is, they're always very weird and not very recognizable. But my Ordinator was one of my first armor sets that I did. Actually, it was my first armor set that I made. And it still holds a very big piece of my heart because of the fact that the Ordinators were always my favorite character in Elder Scrolls. Because if you played, was it the third one? It's if you wanted to get their armor, you had to kill them to get their armor, and it was so hard to kill them to get their armor. So like they were some of the strongest guards in the game, and I was like, I'm gonna get that armor. I was like, I have to get that. I was like Rocket. I was like Rocket Raccoon. I'm like, I'm going to get that arm. You betcha I'm going to get that arm. But yeah, I ended up making the costume because of the fact that it's such a strong character.
So the Ordinator, that's the name of it?
Yep.
All right. That's awesome. Like, and do they look very badass too? Like, are they very like cool looking?
Yeah, they're all gold. They have amazing helmets, which I ended up not making the helmet because I was like, I wasn't there yet to make a helmet, especially one with like a face on it. I still to this day, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to make that kind of commitment to like a face. Luckily I have a head cast and I have Warbler, so I could probably do it easy now, but, eventually, I'm going to revisit my Ordinator and completely overhaul it. But yeah, they look badass. There's both male and female, and they look awesome. They are just, if you look at them online, they're stunning. They're everything. They're everything to me.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so you said your main two games are Elder Scrolls and Overwatch, right?
Yep.
Awesome. And so if you had anything you want to say to any beginners that want to start cosplaying, what would you say to them? What would you say to any beginners in cosplay?
Just do it. Literally, just go out there, get your hands on whatever you need. Keep in mind your budget because you can go over budget very easily, but do the first character that you do, make sure that you do the character that speaks to you the most, whether that be Raven from Teen Titans, whether that be Scarecrow, whether that be, like some character from an anime. Like, do what makes you happy, that first costume, because that's going to be the difference between you really enjoying yourself and you being like, it is what it is. Like my first costume, like I love Captain America, but it wasn't that costume didn't speak to me, that specific one. But just go out there, do the character that you feel comfortable in, that you're going to be happy in, because it's going to change the way that you see life and the way that you do things, and in the positive influences that are in the cosplay community can really change your perspective on everything. So everybody just get out there and do it.
Well said. Well said. And you're going to a convention this week, right? This weekend, right?
Not this weekend, but I am going to a convention in the next couple of weeks. It is PDCon. It's down in South Carolina, and I'm going there with Charlie Rocket.
Nice. Is that your favorite con? Which one's your favorite con?
My favorite con there. Oh man, it's a toss up, because the closest to my heart is NC Comic Con. Raleigh SuperCon is my favorite, like, super local con. But I think that one of my favorite cons is Dragon Con. I think that one is, if it's going to be one con, it's probably going to be Dragon Con.
Dragon Con. And where is that located?
That is in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is a 5-day convention. It spans, I think, 5 hotels, and everybody takes over Atlanta. There is something for literally everyone. It's more of an adult con, so there's kid stuff, but it's, for the most part, for adults. It's a big party con. Everybody there is so amazing, and people bring their A games, and it's so much fun. And it's 24/7 as well.
Oh my God. Is there like Super Smash Brothers there too?
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm a huge Smash Brothers fan. I just gotta ask. I just had to ask that.
Yep, there's Super Smash stuff all over that place. Like, they do get-togethers for people that play, people that cosplay. So I mean, if you are into one specific thing, they have it.
Beautiful. Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia. All right. I'm definitely going to go to that con in the future. It's very soon. Soon. Very, very soon.
It's amazing. You will enjoy yourself, I promise.
I shall, and it's going to be the best. It's going to be the best con ever. It's going to be so cool.
Exactly. But if you're going to do it, get your tickets today, which is September 21st, because otherwise the tickets go on sale or go higher up. Like right now they're $85. I think they go up to like $100.
Wow. I don't think I'll be able to make it this year then, but maybe next year.
Yep.
But that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, that's all we have for you today, Jenna. How are you? How are you feeling about this podcast? Are you feeling good?
Absolutely. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for this opportunity to come on and talk to you.
Absolutely. And do you have anything else you want to say? Anything that's on your mind? Any last thoughts?
No. Just if you want to cosplay, just go out there and do it, guys. Have fun with it. That's all it is. Like, cosplay is for fun. So, and it's a good outlet. It's a great outlet.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for watching or listening. And have a wonderful day, everybody. This is Bowie Abiola and Jenna Say What at Raise Your Game Esports, signing out.